Hello, this is Anvati. Welcome to the news with NDTV. It's Wednesday, March 26th, and coming up in today's episode. Kunal Kamra tells police he's facing death threats from Shinde Sena members. Supreme Court pauses Allahabad High Court ruling, which ruled grabbing breasts of a child would not count as rape attempt. Are AIADMK and BJP looking to renew their alliance? And United States names India as a fentanyl enabler in new report. After receiving fresh summons from Mumbai police over his alleged offensive joke against Maharashtra Deputy Chief Minister Eknath Shinde, Kunal Kamra has reportedly told police that he needs at least a week to appear before them. Sources said he has claimed he is receiving over 500 threatening calls, many allegedly from Shiv Sena supporters, one of which went viral recently on social media. He claims they have threatened him with his life, threatened him to attack him, as well as chopping him into multiple pieces. His lawyer submitted an appeal and the reply in person to the Khar police station. The police have, however, rejected the stand-up comedian's request. Now the Khar police will issue second summon today under the Bharatiya Nyaya Samhita, Section 35. Earlier, Mumbai police sent up summon to Kamra, asking him to appear before the investigating officer on Tuesday. The MIDC police registered a first information report against Kamra for his remarks, wherein he made a song with the word Gabbard in it, which Shiv Sena supporters claim is an attack against Eknath Shinde. However, Eknath Shinde has never been named in the song. However, given the circumstances, it is believed that Kunal Kamra's traitor or Gaddar jibe was at Shinde during his performance, as Shinde had led the 2022 defection from Uddhav Thackeray's then undivided Shiv Sena. An FIR was registered against Kamra after he released his stand-up video under Section 356 of the Bharatiya Nyaya Samhita at Dombivli Police Station in Thane district. Separately, another FIR was filed at Khar Police Station based on a complaint by Shiv Sena MLA Murji Patel. Going further than the police complaint, Shiv Sena workers also vandalized the Habitat studio in Mumbai's Khar area where the show was recorded. Later that day, BMC went ahead and demolished parts of the hotel where the studio is located, claiming it had illegal structures in it. The demolition drive continued for 2 days straight despite multiple objections from opposition parties and civil activists. Police did arrest 12 individuals involved in the vandalism act, but they were granted bail within the same day. A case was registered against 40 workers for their role in the incident. Deputy Chief Minister Ajit Pawar has once again maintained that action should be taken according to the law and that freedom of speech does not protect against insults or joke comedies. Quote, Our Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis has responded on this issue on behalf of the government. Our Chief Minister has said action will be taken as per the law, Mr. Pawar told reporters while explaining the stand of Maharashtra government on the matter. Chief Minister Fadnavis has criticized Kamra's performance as low-quality comedy and argued that freedom of expression cannot lead to tyranny. The CM said, We appreciate humor and satire, we accept political satire, but we do not accept freedom of expression if it leads to tyranny. He further accused Kamra of seeking fame through controversy and defended Mr. Shinde as the rightful heir to Balasaheb Thackeray's legacy. Meanwhile, Balasaheb Thackeray's son and grandson, meaning Uddhav Thackeray and Aditya Thackeray, have been mounting their attacks against Shiv Sena Shinde faction in the aftermath of Kunal Kamra's joke. They have repeated that freedom of expression is being taken away, and Aditya Thackeray joked to media that since Shinde's name was never mentioned, how did the Sena workers conclude that it was an attack against their leader? Supreme Court of India has paused a controversial ruling from Allahabad High Court that stated actions such as grabbing a minor's breast, pulling down the strings of her pajama, and taking her to an isolated location do not amount to an attempt to commit rape. The Supreme Court, underlining a total lack of sensitivity, expressed its concern over the observations made by Justice Ram Manohar Narayan Mishra in the High Court's judgment delivered on March 17th. However, ironically, the Supreme Court just yesterday had dismissed a plea against this judgment without even hearing it. However, today they have taken suo motu cognizance of the same. The bench, comprising Justice B.R. Gavai and Justice Augustine George Massey, stated that they were pained by the remarks and sought responses from both the centre and the Uttar Pradesh government regarding the matter. The court noted that the judgment appears to reflect a serious insensitivity and was delivered 4 months after receiving it, indicating that there was an application of mind. Quote, "We are pained to state that it shows a total lack of sensitivity on the part of the author of the judgment. It was not even at the spur of a moment that was delivered 4 months after receiving the same. Thus there was application of mind. We are usually hesitant to grant stay at this stage, but since observations in paragraph 21, 24 and 26 is unknown to canons of law, it shows inhuman approach. We stay the observations in said paras," unquote, the court ordered. Solicitor General Tushar Mehta supported the bench's decision, stating that some judgments warrant suspension due to their implications. Justice Gabbard remarked on the seriousness of the situation, indicating that such insensitivity from a judge is unacceptable. The judgment of the Allahabad High Court came from a case where a mother had alleged that her minor daughter was given a lift by 2 accused, who then took her to an isolated location where they tried to molest her. Quote, "On the way to her village, they took her to an isolated location under a bridge. They started grabbing her breasts, and an accused named Akash dragged her and tried to take her beneath the culvert and broke the strings of her pajama. The witnesses Satish and Bhure, who were coming behind on a tractor, reached the spot hearing the cries of the child, and the accused persons threatened him with his life by pointing a country-made pistol to them and fled away," the Allahabad High Court order says. In the same order, it ruled that these actions did not constitute an attempt to rape, suggesting that the prosecution must establish intent beyond mere preparation. In short and simple language, it said that intent of the accused was not clear by their action of whether they were actually going to commit rape or not, and that simply removing her clothes or grabbing her breast did not conclude there any evil intentions. The court then said to file a sexual offence charge under POCSO and not attempted rape. As a part of its ruling, the Supreme Court has issued notices to the Union of India and Uttar Pradesh government while staying specific paragraphs of the Allahabad High Court judgment. AIADMK chief Edapadi met Union Home Minister Amit Shah today, sparkling rumours of a re-alliance between the two parties ahead of next year's Tamil Nadu election. However, Mr. Palaniswamy downplayed that speculation. He said, and I quote, "Poll alliances are discussed closer to election, nothing now." Mr. Palaniswamy, who led his party away from the BJP 2 years ago, said after the meeting, in an attempt to revive political fortunes that have been falling since the death of ex-chief minister and party matriarch of sorts, J. Lalita, in 2016. Stressing that there was no alliance talk, he said the meeting was to discuss people's issues and disbursal of funds for railways projects and the Manrega employment guarantee schemes. He said that he has urged Mr. Shah to order an inquiry into the alleged TASMAC scam and call for a stringent action against the guilty. The scam, which, like the liquor policy scam that rolled Arvind Kejriwal's Aam Aadmi Party in Delhi and helped BJP win that election, alleges that Rs 8,000 crore irregularities were found by the Enforcement Directorate in state-owned liquor sales agency. The alleged TASMAC scam is set to become a major issue in next year's election with the Hindi imposition and delimitation rows as BJP tries to win a historically rejected state. Quote, "I raise the collapsing law and order situation in Tamil Nadu, the safety of women, the liquor and drugs menace, and I urge the centre to not permit Makidatu project," unquote, he said. This project is the construction of a reservoir across Kaveri River in Karnataka's Ramanagara district. This, Tamil Nadu has argued, will reduce water flowing downstream to it. The AIADMK and BJP were allies for the 2019 Lok Sabha and 2021 state elections, but lost both to the DMK Congress pair by large margins. Ties between the AIADMK and BJP deteriorated rapidly after 2021, with the latter state unit chief K. Annamalai taking potshots at the Tamil Party's past and present leaders, including founder and ex-chief minister M.G. Ramchandran, who has legendary status in the state. The AIADMK demanded that Mr. Annamalai apologize for his remarks, which he refused to do so. And in September 2023, a few months before the 2024 Lok Sabha election, the parties split. Since then, there has been periodic talk over the two resuming their alliance, but it has never become anything more than any speculation. The United States has named India, along with China, a state actor in enabling direct and indirect supply of precursor chemicals for illicit fentanyl drug production by criminal organizations in a report. Fentanyl, among other synthetic opioids, is the most lethal drug trafficked into the United States. It has claimed the lives of more than 52,000 Americans in 12 months, ending in October 2024, according to the Annual Threat Assessment of the U.S. intelligence community released on Tuesday. Quote, transnational criminal organizations or TCOs are often enabled, both directly and indirectly by state actors such as China and India as source of precursors and equipment for drug traffickers, unquote, the report published by the Office of Tulsi Gabbard, U.S. Director of National Intelligence, said. Quote, China remains the primary source country for illicit fentanyl precursor chemicals and pill-pressing equipment, followed by China, unquote, it added. Notably, it is the first time the US has placed India on the same level as China in connection with the supply of precursor chemicals used by cartels to manufacture opioids like fentanyl. Last year's report mentioned India as just one of the several countries from where the Mexican groups were sourcing chemicals to a lesser intent. It has identified China as the primary supplier. The report comes at a time when US President Donald Trump has made combating opioids a political priority, shaping his foreign policy decisions. Earlier this month, Trump said his administration would not rest until, quote, we have ended the fentanyl pandemic in America once and for all, unquote. On February 1st, the American commander-in-chief imposed an additional 10% tariff on China for failing to take sufficient action against fentanyl trafficking. He also levied 25% duties on Canada and Mexico for allegedly lacking adequate border enforcement regarding fentanyl transfers. Meanwhile, Trump has threatened to impose reciprocal duties on several countries as part of his Liberation Day tariff set to take effect on April 2nd. However, India is in talks with America to expedite a free trade deal that could help it avoid some of these taxes. That's all for today. You were listening to the news with NDTV, your daily newspaper and TV bulletin wrapped in a compact podcast. To catch up with the day's events in a hurry, do remember to subscribe to the News with NDTV on Apple, Spotify, and the NDTV News app. This is your host Amit, signing off.